Afternoon. Good afternoon. How are you doing today? How's been trading? How's been trading? Can you hear me loud and clear? Please drop a comment. Can you hear me loud and clear? Please drop a comment. How's been trading today? Hope you've made some pips. How's been trading? Hope you've made some pips. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. How are you doing today? You're welcome. You're welcome. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Confirm you can hear me loud and clear. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? How has been trading today? How's it been? How's it been? How's been trading today? How's been trading today? Confirm you can hear me and you can also see my screen. Confirm you can hear me and also see my screen. It's the SY sell. His price just tested on this resistance area. There's a strong rejection, and also you can see we had a fair value. Okay, you can see this fair value gap. Okay, we also had a fair value gap which has been filled, and also price just tested a resistance area. Can we say the XY is set for sell? Okay, let's go down to this is 1 hour time. Let's see what we have on 15 minutes. Okay, let's go down to 15 minutes. Okay, so 15 minutes, I would want to see 1 hour candle close below the low of this candle. Okay, 1 hour candle close below the low of this candle, or 15 minutes candle close below this support. This is when I would go bearish on the XY. I want to see 15 minutes close below this support, or our candle close below the low of this candle. That's my take on DXY. If 1 hour candle closes below the low of this candle, or 15 minutes close below this support, that will be the right time to sell DXY. That will be the right time to sell DXY. If you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. If you have any question, just drop it in the comment section. Okay. So what we have here on Euro USD, you can see we had a fair value gap here on Euro USD. Price pulled filled that fair value gap, and you can see the pattern that formed after the fair value gap got filled. You can see we had a spinning bottom here. You can see the spinning bottom indicating trend from bearish to bullish, and you can see now the market, I think, is trying to break out from this resistance. If a 15 minutes candle closes above this resistance, expect more bullish move on EU. If 15 minutes candle, so you can see the previous 15 minutes candle closed as an hammer. You can see the previous candle closed as an hammer after fair value gap it created. It closed as an hammer. So if the current 15 minutes closes above that resistance it's created on 15 minutes time frame, then we should expect more bullish move on Euro USD. It's likely going to go for this next high. So you go aim for 50, between 50 and 60 pips on Euro. Okay, it's likely going to come clear all the liquidity residing at this high. This will be the first target. This will be the second target, and this will be the third target for Euro USD. Okay, so let's see apply. You can see that you apply it. Okay, so expect price to clear this highs, this previous high. That's my expectation on Euro USD. If you have any question, if there's anything you want us to look at, please drop it in the comment section. Okay, so that's my take on Euro USD, bullish on Euro USD. Okay, let's see GBP JPY. GBP JPY should be bullish also at the moment. You can see GBP JPY is also bullish at the moment. Let's see the 4-hour time frame. Okay, so you can see what we had. The first candle closed strongly bullish, and if you go down to 1 hour, what do we have on 1 hour? Let's say 15 minutes. It's likely a fair value gap was created, and that's the reason for this pullback. Let's go down to lower time frame to identify the fair value gap that was created. So you can see the fair value gap that was created on. Okay, let's go to 15 minutes. Let's see minutes. So on 5 minutes. Good afternoon. So on GJ, I think a fair value gap was created. We had a fair value gap here on GJ, and that could be the reason for. You can see, go back to 15 minutes, you can see price pulled back to fill that fair value gap. So after the fair value gap got filled, you can see the pattern that formed. Right, you can see the pattern that formed after price filled the fair value gap. We had an hammer here indicating change in trend. So this would have been a good buy. After the formation of this hammer, we would have waited for this next candle to close bullish. So this would have been a good buy on stop loss, 40 pips stop loss, then 60 pips TP at least. By now you should be out of this trade, 60 pips on GJ. You had bought from this point, you would have made 60 pips. Your risk will be 40 pips. Okay, so GJ is bullish at the moment. It is bullish. You might want to wait for price to pull back. Okay, wait for price to pull back before going bullish. As you can see, price is currently at a resistance area. Okay, this would have been the best entry. So if you missed this first move, I would suggest you wait for price to pull back to a discount area. If you apply Fibonacci from this swing low to swing high, you want to wait for price to pull back to a discount before you buy. That's my take on GBP JPY. Good afternoon, Victory. I believe you can hear me, and also you can see my screen. Please confirm. Confirm you can see my screen. Okay, confirm you can see my screen. So for Australian dollar USD, Australian dollar USD has been bullish. It's been bullish. So first candle for the day closed as an hammer, and the market is currently trading above the high of this bearish candle. You can see price pulled back, tested this resistance, which became a support, and you can see the pattern that formed. Okay, you can see the pattern that formed after the resistance, the support zone resistance got tested. See, we had, you can see this candle looks like a spinning bottom. So on Australian dollar USD, this would have been the right time to buy. Stop loss, let's say 30 pips, TP 50 pips. So one would have made 50 pips on Australian dollar USD. See that? Okay, though it is still bullish, but you might want to wait for price to wait for a pullback. I think it's created a fair value here. I think it's created a fair value gap here. Okay, I think it's created a fair value gap here. You can see that. Okay, and price are pulled back to test that fair value gap. Let's see on 15 minutes. So price pulled back, tested that fair gap, and the reason the gap didn't get filled entirely could be resistance was created here. So price just pulled back to test this resistance that was broken. So $1 USD is still bullish at the moment. Still bullish at the moment. Okay. Still bullish at the moment. Okay, so I took a trade on GBP USD. I think it's in profit right now. I think my trade on GBP USD is in profit right now. Let's see. Okay, so this is the trade I took on GBP USD. Right now, you can see the pattern that formed on 1 hour time frame. You can see the pattern. It's a doji, and after the formation of the doji, let's go down to 15 minutes. What do we have on 15 minutes? So this is what we had on 15 minutes. So I executed the trade after this candlestick above the high, this bearish candle. So that was when I executed the trade. You can see it here. You can see it is in, I think 24 pips profits now, 24 pips profits. Okay, I executed the trade after the candle, a 15-minute candle closes above the high of this bearish candle and also the high of this doji candle. So 27 pips right now, 27 pips. Okay, so that's it. You can see the entry. So GU is still bullish. I've executed the second trade now on GU. I've executed the second trade. If you are my student, you know how I scaling. You know how I scaling. So the second trade just got a buy stop for this second trade. So so now I need to adjust my stop loss on the first trade to break even. I need to adjust it to break even 1.281. Okay. Okay, so I think GU is set for buy. It's likely going to come and clear this high. Okay, it's going to come and clear this high. How many pips from the current market price? Let's see. From this point to this point, it's likely going to come clear. You can see this is an area of liquidity, relative equal high. So it's likely going to come and clear this high. And as you can see, we have a fair value gap above that area of liquidity. So they are likely going to come for this level. Okay, that is my expectation on GU. Well, I'm just going for 50 pips. 50 pips. So this is where I'm aiming for on GU. Okay, so maybe I'll take 50 pips on the first trade. On the second trade, I'll go for from this point. Let's see, I can go for 7 pips on this second trade. On the first trade, 50 pips in total. That will be 120 pips in total. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. Let's see, 5 minutes. So you can see shift in market structure has occurred here on 5 minutes time frame. You can see it here. Shift in market structure has occurred here on 5 minutes frame. I hope that is clear. So let's do instrument. GJ, like I said, is bullish. Australian dollar USD also bullish. Euro Aussie should be bearish. Euro Aussie should be bearish. Let's see. But this won't be the time to sell Euro Aussie. This would have been the right time, and the market has done over 100 and something pips. So this wouldn't be the right time to sell. You should price to pull back. Okay, you can see it has created a fair value gap here. So it's likely price will pull back to this fair value gap for continue with this bearish move. That's what I see on Euro Australian dollar. That is what I see on Euro Australian dollar. Australian dollar is still very bullish. Sorry, bearish. It's still bearish. It's likely going to come fail. This will be the next target for Euro Australian dollar. That will be the next target for Euro Australian dollar. This fair value. Still have several fair value gaps here that needs to be filled. So Euro Australian dollar, you can see we still have a value gap here. We still have one here. So there are a lot of fair value gaps that are filled on Euro Aussie. So it's been bearish. Let's see how many pips done. You can see today, just the past 4 hours, it has done over 200 and something pips. The past 4 hours, it has done over 200 and something pips. So if you jump in and start selling now, the risk could be too high. Okay, so patiently wait for a pullback before you consider selling Euro Australian dollar. Can you hear me? Drop comments if you can hear me. If you have questions, drop it in the comment section. Gold also, I think, is set for buy. I think gold just filled this fair value gap. Okay, it has not filled entirely. Okay, but as you can see, this fair value gap is a fair value gap it created. It has pulled back. I think it has cleared this support that was created here. So if the current 1 hour candle closes as an hammer or doji, then you should be considering buying gold. Okay, so you can see the previous 15 minutes candle. So if 1 hour candle closes above this high, this will be the right time to consider buying gold. If 1 hour candle closes above this bearish candle, then one can consider buying gold. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. I hope that is clear. If you have any question, any pair you want us to look at, just drop it in the comment. We're ending this session in a few minutes. If you have any question or any pair you want us to look at, let me know in the comment section. For USD CHF, USD CHF is bearish. Let's see USD CHF. So you can see USD CHF tested this resistance, and also we had a fair value gap at this point. So that gap has been filled. That fair value gap has been filled, and the market is currently trading below. You can see the fair value gap has been filled, and after the Australian dollar CHF, okay, after the gap got filled, see the pattern that formed here. If you go down to 5 minutes, you'll be able to identify the reversal pattern. So you can see the pattern that formed after the gap got filled. You can see it. This is a shooting star, or you call it your spinning top. You can see. So this tells us that USD CHF is bearish. Okay, it is bearish. That's created a fair value gap. So most likely they'll just want to fill this fair value gap that's created here before going bearish. So it's either the fair value gap gets filled, price closes below this support. That's when you should consider going bearish on USD CHF. Price should close below this support or fill this value gap. Once this fair value gap gets filled and you are able to identify a bearish reversal pattern, then you can sell USD CHF from that area. Okay, so that's my take on USD CHF. I hope that is clear. Australian dollar CHF, Australian dollar CHF. Let's look at that. Australian dollar CHF, Australian dollar CHF. Australian dollar CHF. Okay, so as you can see, Australian dollar CHF is bullish. Is bullish. You can see the doji here. Okay, then this next candle inverted hammer, and this is a spinning bottom. This is a bullish setup on. So Solana CHF has been for the past 4 hours. It's been bullish, done over 104 pips. So you cannot buy from the current market price. You want to wait for price to pull back before you buy. Okay, so let's go down to 15 1 hour. So this would have been a good entry. USD Australian dollar CHF. This would have been the best entry for Australian dollar CHF. So if you have missed this move, then you should wait for price to pull back to fill this fair value gap it's created. If you want to buy, you should wait for price to pull back to this fair value gap before you consider buying Australian dollar CHF. This would have been the best entry. So if you had missed this move, you should wait for price to pull back before you buy. Australian dollar CHF is bullish. Australian dollar CHF is bullish. It's a bullish setup. I hope that is clear. Okay, Australian dollar CHF is bullish. It's bullish, bullish, bullish. I hope that is clear. So that will be all for this session. If there are no questions, that will be all for this session. I hope that is clear, Mr. Victory. Give the video a thumbs up if you haven't done that. Give it a thumbs up if you haven't done that. I hope that is clear. All right, thank you for your participation. We'll meet tomorrow by 10 a.m. All right, bye for now.